Einen wunderschönen Sonntag hier auf der Austria Comic Con 2023 in Wels. Wir haben einen großartigen Schauspieler, der schon jetzt hinter der Bühne auf uns alle wartet, der sich schon freut darauf, euch zu treffen. Einige von euch kennen ihn vielleicht von The Flash oder von Vampire Diaries. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Rick COSNETT! Hi, here you go, buddy.
Thank you.
Just a quick...
Hello, beautiful people. How are you this morning? It's so nice to be here again today, but I'm having the best time in Austria, really. I am. I've had 2 Vienna schnitzels. And I had a very tiny Vienna beer last night, which I was getting shit about because apparently you shouldn't, it's so typical me, you shouldn't order a tiny beer in Austria.
We
right?
Don't drink tiny beers in
yeah,
Austria.
You're like, what is that? Yeah, but you know, I'm a pussy, so what can I say? I mean, that's probably not, don't cancel me. That's not, I shouldn't use that word anymore.
Drinking is huge in Austria. If you ask a typical Austrian person, what's your favorite beer? There's only one correct answer. What's your favorite beer? An open one.
Oh, amazing, amazing.
So, but let's go to the serious talk. Yesterday we talked about your origins, where you started acting, how you aspired and became an actor. And today I would like to go a bit more into detail on your current and past projects that you did. But first, a quick word to the audience. There is a mic very, very lonely, sitting in the middle of the aisle. So if you have a question for Rick, please just walk up to the mic and the stage is yours. So before I start, is there someone who wants to open the panel with the first question today? Then please take the mic now. Not yet.
This is your final warning.
It's fine. So, is she going to the mic? No.
I think she's coming to her seat.
Then I'll ask the first question. Let's keep Vampire Diaries and The Flash for later. I read something interesting about the show Quantico that you were on, that every scene that was shot in these locker rooms, in the gym, in the workout rooms, the medical clinic, the combat gym, were shot at the Quebec National Sports Institute in Montreal's Olympic Stadium, which was not shut down during production. So all the actors had to, the Olympic athletes simply trained around the actors while filming and training went on simultaneously, and I find that so amazing that I want to hear more about that.
Wow, yeah, I totally forgot about that. I never thought about it until right now. That's such a good question. Yeah, Quantico, I don't know if everyone's seen this show, but it's a really great show with Priyanka Chopra that I was on for a while, and I played Elias Harper, who was a lawyer who was recruited by the FBI it's basically Quantico is the FBI training facility in the USA. So that was the name of the place where we all trained. So it was all about us, the trainees, and this kind of terrorism, this bomb that had gone off in New York City. And I played this really kind of sharp little catty sort of lawyer who was gay and super fun, and Elias ended up being kind of blackmailed and in on the whole thing. But yeah, that scene, those scenes that we shot I totally forgot that. I forgot that we shot them at the Olympic Center. I didn't even know that it was the Olympic Center. Everything just kind of went over my head, I suppose. I thought they were extras.
You weren't told that.
Yeah, I assumed they were all extras. I didn't know they were actual Olympic athletes. It shows how self-obsessed I am. I was just thinking about myself the entire time. And I was probably Actually, no, that was right, because all the field agents, so there was the analysts, and I played an analyst, which I felt more comfortable about because I was more like, the intelligent one who was behind the computer, whereas the field agents, who was like Priyanka Chopra and, all these other wonderful actors, Jake McLaughlin and Yasmin and Johanna Brady, they were in the field, so they had to do fight practice and stuff, and we were just kind of there observing them and taking down notes, you see. But I do remember doing one very good eye roll at the swimming pool when I was coming in with Caleb, and for some reason, he liked a girl who was over there, and I just remember doing this eye roll in the scene and then walking on, and it was a great GIF that I kept seeing up on my social media of me just in the thing going, It's good that we're talking about Elias, because I'm feeling particularly gay today. I seem to be very flamboyant this morning. Thank you. Woo! It is Pride Month after all. All right, let's have a round of applause for Pride Month. I wasn't feeling very prideful or very gay until today, which is 3 days in, so here it is. It's all coming out of me today.
Something else that I always like to talk to actors about, because I am very happy if I wake up and remember my own name.
I thought you were saying you wake up and feel gay. Sorry.
No. But if I remember my own name, but an actor is basically a memorization machine, having to learn script after script.
Yeah.
And what I always like to hear is, how do you achieve that? And especially, I've heard some actors have special routines on how or where they read scripts. We had an actor here on stage last year, I think, who said he has a hammock on his balcony and he just chillaxes there and has a cup of coffee, and that is how he reads scripts all the time, every time. So I wanted to ask you, how do you read scripts? Do you have a routine for that, especially then for memorization of your dialogue?
Yeah, good question. I usually read scripts lying down, because why wouldn't you? It's like the most comfortable position to be in. But then I also, when I read, I fall asleep. So it's probably not the most practical way to read scripts. And so, and luckily, if they're not boring, then I don't fall asleep. But if they are, then sometimes I just kind of end up falling asleep, which is probably a good litmus test in the end anyway. Not that I get offered the most amazing scripts at the moment. I need to be a little bit more famous. Trust me, I will be. Just wait. But, then maybe I won't be falling asleep so much. No, but... yeah, I read them on my iPad, which is so much easier now, and I usually like to find a nice place with a nice lookout, and then I'll read, some of it maybe at a restaurant, at the bar while I'm eating, and then again so I'll take it with me around to different spots to kind of finish it off. And I'm a very slow reader, so it's quite tedious, to be honest, because I went on this fast reading course once when I was a teenager, and it just didn't work for me. I just can't skim. I have to read every detail and go through the emotion of it all, which is kind of takes forever, so it takes me so long, which is not very efficient. But anyway, it's just the way that it is. And look, there's worse things in the world. With learning lines, I have an app on my iPad now, which is a lot easier, because you get to do it yourself, and you don't have to rope friends in all the time, and family members who already they're done with me. I've put them through so much trauma with audition tapes over the years that it's nice to not be able to need anyone else now. the rehearsal app, you record it and your voice comes back to you, and all that good stuff, so you can go over it 1,000 times by yourself, and I can do a lot of work on my own, which is a lot easier. But learning lines is just, it sounds like such a stupid complaint, and it is a stupid complaint because, we all have to work and we all have to do things that we don't want to do, and one of those things is learning lines. And once the lines are learned and I've rehearsed and I've done the work, which for me these days is a lot of work, in finding making it real for myself and putting it in my body and making sure that I've gone over it 1,000 times so that it's second nature, the words are second nature to me. Then you can finally have a good time and act and start having fun and start reacting and, doing all that cool stuff. But I think it's like anything in life, and anything in life, you have to go through some pain to get the reward, just like exercising, it sucks so much, and then you feel so good afterwards. It's just the nature of life and the cycle of what we do. So yeah, actors, we should suffer in order to reap the rewards, and part of that suffering as well is the nerves. It's sometimes terrifying to go on stage or go on camera or audition, and it can feel kind of uncomfortable. Barbra Streisand has famously she has a lot of stage fright because it's just an uncomfortable feeling of like, what's going to happen? Am I going to mess this up? But that's all part of it. It's all exciting, and it makes it more kind of visceral. Yeah.
Please, the mic is yours.
Hi, girls.
Hi. My friend wants to know if you picked up any German on your stay here and if you can say something in German.
Auf der linken Seite sehen Sie das Wasser und auf der rechten Seite sehen Sie auch das Wasser.
Thank you.
Der Toilettendeckel ist sperrangelweit auf. That got you.
Okay, that one got me. That one got me.
Sperrangelweit auf is like such an amazing word to me. People say that I look German sometimes when I start to speak it, because actually I have a lot of friends in Germany, people in Germany just start speaking German to me because I look kind of German-ish. And I'm just always like, hold up. Nope, not for me.
Thank you so much.
But I learned some things. I actually dated a German for 2 years. So that's also why I learned Sperrangelweit auf, because he was very pedantic about me leaving things open and closed, and I was just always like, what? He's like, the door is sperrangelweit auf, all the mosquitoes and bugs came into his house, and I was like, oh shit, like, sorry. Because, Austrians and Germans are so wonderfully precise, and in general, you do like things a certain way, which I think is so great, and I need more of that. But I'm just kind of useless. I'm from Africa. I'm African. We don't really have a sense of time, or we leave things sperrangelweit auf all the time. Yeah, so you need to teach me some new ones. Maybe this time.
Actually,
do you guys have a new word for me? Yes.
I actually am prepared.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
I usually,
that's too much, okay?
I usually
I don't like learning lines.
Bring a small German course here for American and Canadian actors. Only the most important
a 5-month
words.
course.
Only, I'll take 2. The most important words that you need to know and need to learn.
Okay.
For instance, like this one.
That's an actual word? Is that a word?
That is a word, yes.
What does this word mean in English?
Beef printing, surveillance, job, carrying over law. So it's someone who has to...
Did you say beef?
Yes, beef. That's Rindfleisch. And someone prints the labels on the beef. And there is someone who makes the law, who watches the guy who prints these labels.
On the beef?
On the beef. And there is a word for that.
On like a raw steak?
Yes. No, on the package.
On the package?
Yeah.
On top of the raw steak?
And of course there is a law
okay,
for that in German.
Should I try it? Wait.
Please.
I'm going to try it. Watch me. Okay. Rindfleisch, Tickettellerans, Überwasch, Stongstand,
Okay.
Wow, that was so much harder than I thought, and I completely failed, like 2 syllables in.
I could have given you an even easier one, but no.
These are actual words.
This is an actual word, but I want to tell you about one thing that I think you might really need, because you said you like German expressions, and there is one that I think you might enjoy. Maybe you even know this one, but...
Are you making me say rude things in German?
I would never...
You would never?
Dare to do mean things.
Oh my God.
No.
So mean.
No, that is not mean.
Okay. I'm rehearsing. This sounds really rude.
It's not. I promise you it's not rude.
Innerer Schweinehund.
You know that, right? Innerer Schweinehund. If I translate this to English, it would mean inner pig dog.
Oh my God.
And that is like your...
That is rude.
No, it's not. That's like the internal blockade that you have and that you have to get over to do something.
Oh my God.
So when you say, no, let's say you're afraid of heights and you're in front of a bridge.
Yes.
And someone says, just cross this bridge. And then you finally, the process of getting you over this, you have to get over your...
Inner pig dog.
Inner pig dog.
You have to have a conversation with your inner pig dog.
Yes.
I love you. Your innerer Schweinehund.
I thought you might like that.
I love that. And you have to, yes, we all have this inside of us. And we must always rationalize with our innerer Schweinehund. I love that. That's amazing.
That is...
Jumping off a bridge, that's a good example. Maybe don't.
Please, let's have a more serious question from the audience.
Hello.
Hello.
I love you so much.
Oh my God, stop it. Tell me again.
Can you please say hello, Vivi?
Vivi?
Yeah.
Hello, Vivi.
Thank you.
You're a genius. You're an absolute genius. Vivi, come give me a hug. Or maybe she doesn't want a hug. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. What a little genius. That's really funny. Hello, Vivi.
Shall we have a more serious question again, maybe?
Yes.
Or just learn more words?
Well, yeah, we could have a serious question. I think so.
Yes. About the Flash, when you star in something that has a backstory, that has source material it's based upon, do you watch the source material or not?
Yes. That's a good question. You know, with the Flash, for example, we all got the comics before we started, and we all read a lot of comics and did a lot of research, actually. So that was really fun. You know, we were really excited about it. I was really excited when I got the audition, actually, for the Flash, for this character, Eddie Thorne, and I looked it up, and I was like, okay, I see there's Malcolm Thorne, who I ended up actually becoming, spoiler alert, kind of, you know, and all these other characters online, you know, just online there was all these kind of crazy things, and I thought the Flash, that's, you know, it just to me, it was so classic. It was such a classic superhero story that we hadn't seen for a while. There was that, since the 90s, I suppose, there was that wonderful series with John Wesley Shipp. Yeah, so it was super fun to do that research, and then I was playing a cop as well. But I rehearsed the scene so much. I was so ready. I was so psyched up because I'd already auditioned for the CW. I'd been on the Vampire Diaries, but I'd also got very close to a role on the originals before I was on the Vampire Diaries. I tested for them and came down to the last 2 for a series regular role on that. And so I knew the stars were aligned for me with The Flash. And I went in and I did the audition, and I did it really well in hindsight. But I was so crazed about getting the part that, the director, David Nutter, who directed X-Files and all these amazing things, was there in the room, and they said, "Thank you so much, Rick, that was great. I love the way you took," he said, "I love the way you took your jacket off and you did this, you did that." And the whole time I just thought I messed it up. My inner Schweinhund, innere Schweinhund was saying, "You messed it up." And I said, "No, I didn't." And he said, "Yes, you did." And I was like, "Oh my God." So then I thought, they're just being nice. I was like, they're just being nice. He's just being like, "Oh, thank you so much. Like, I like the way you did that." But but I thought they hated me. And I got out of the audition just like in a trance. And I went to the lift, and I thought, I've got to go back. I've got to say, "Lindsay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have to do it again." And then I was like, "No, just keep going, Rick. Just keep walking." And I got in the car, and I drove down the 101 highway, and I just burst into tears. And I was like, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I messed it up, but you know what? It's okay, Rick. You just go on. You just keep going, keep trying, and the next one, you'll get the next one. It's okay." And then I was eating my chicken at California Chicken Cafe, kind of like, and I got like 1,000 missed calls from my agent. And I was like, this always happens to me. Like, they obviously want me. I have another audition for something else, and I need to be grateful, and I need to, it's more work for free, but it's fine. And then I get a call, and they're like, "Oh, they want you to test for the audition. They want me to go straight to the studio, which is like the second last round. But the director wants to talk to you." And I said, "Oh, of course he does. Of course he does. Of course he wants to talk to me." And then I get on the phone with David Nutter. He says, "Rick, hi." I'm like, "Hi, David." He's like, "It was just perfect. Don't do anything differently. Everything you did was absolutely perfect." And I was like, "Oh, please, honey, just wait. Just you wait, okay? Sit down. I could do so much better than that." But also I was like, what did I do? The neuroses of me. Where was I going with that? I had a start and I had a finished all the way over here in the bush. What was the question? We've forgotten. I've talked so long.
I think another question would be, when was the question? I think we started on Friday.
We started the question last week. Yeah. All that to say, that was my experience auditioning for The Flash, which you did not ask me. But it was something to do with The Flash, and
I remember it was about the source material, but let's have one more question from the audience
I wanted to try and bring it back to the source material. All that to say, after that, we were all very, very excited that we were on the show, and it was beautiful. We all were very, very close to the story. Yeah, yeah.
Please.
So, because we were on German, I want to ask if you can try another one. Och, Katzelschwarf.
Oh, no.
I knew this was coming.
I love it. You were all laughing, and I was laughing, but I was pretending to laugh because I wasn't in on the joke. What is it? What is it?
Och, Katzelschwarf.
Do I have it?
Och, Katzelschwarf.
Yeah.
No.
Woo!
Yes?
That was good. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Usually there...
Does that mean I'm an idiot?
No, Katzelschwarf is, I think it's Bavarian, but Austrian German is rather close to the Bavarian German, and it's the tail of a squirrel.
Really?
The pretty
I love
German.
squirrels.
The pretty German would be Eichkätzchenschweif. Eichkätzchen is the squirrel. And Schweif is the tail.
Eichkätzchenschweif.
And Oachkatzel is the
Oh my
dialect version of that.
Thank you for that. Because I like squirrels. We didn't have squirrels in Africa, and they were always in fairy tales and storybooks for me. So I was very excited when I first saw a squirrel. Yeah, and I still love them when I see them. I'm like, oh my God, a squirrel! It's like a magical creature.
I have to do a very, very sad thing now.
Oh my gosh!
I have to end this panel.
Oh no, I know, we could go on
Sadly,
all
this
day.
is everything we have time for today. But ladies and gentlemen, give the warmest farewell applause to the amazing Rick COSNETT.
Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. Honestly, it's been an absolute dream to be here. Thank you for your questions. I've had the best time, so much fun.